Well, good afternoon. I have a question for you. How many of you would like to earn $1 million? Ah, good. Well, you're in the right place. This is Business Theater Live. Well, the truth is we're all in business, aren't we? We're in business to make a living, to earn an income. We're also in the theater. Shakespeare reminded us of that because he said all the world is a stage and men and women are merely players. There are a lot of neat parallels I've discovered between business and the theater. In the theater, if you want to get a part, what do you have to do? You audition. To get a job, you have to have a job interview. In the theater, if you get the part, you have to learn your lines. In business, you have to learn your job, the tasks, the roles. In the theater, we often wear costumes. At work, we have a dress code. I'm reminding, I don't know if any of you still have Casual Friday. I saw a cartoon once of two Japanese sumo wrestlers. You know how they dress, the little loincloth? One says to the other, "What are we going to do on Casual Friday?" Well, the truth is we all know how to look good, don't we? If you look around, everybody here looks good. Nobody here looks shabby. We know how to look good because we know the value of first impressions. But in my travels and work around the world, I've discovered that very few people know how to sound good. And that's what I want to present to you this afternoon. I want to give you a technique for making $1 million and really much more in your lifetime. And that technique is simply this. It's the last syllable. Whenever you speak anything, whether it's a single word, a phrase, or a sentence, you want to go down in pitch on the last syllable. The last syllable should always drop down. It's the musical note. For example, do you remember in school when we recited the Pledge of Allegiance? Remember how that started? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Remember that? We did not say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. If you go up in pitch on endings of anything, you sound wishy-washy, indecisive, lacking confidence, like a valley girl, right? We're going to go to the mall, and then we're going to get something to eat? No, you want to go down on endings. Now think about it in terms of language. Every word in English that has two or more syllables, almost every word, the last syllable goes down in pitch. Bellevue, theater, right? Seattle. Words with more than one syllable, the last syllable goes down in pitch, not up. Now, you may be wondering, well, what about questions? Don't questions go up at the end? Well, the truth is this. All the questions that begin with those interrogative pronouns, who, what, where, when, why, how, those questions always go down at the end. How old are you? Where do you live? The only question we're tempted to go up on is a yes or no question. But 90% of those are actually asked better when you go down in pitch at the end. For example, if you're in retail or in customer service, instead of saying to someone, "Can I help you?" why not say, "How can I help you?" If you're a server in a restaurant, instead of asking customers, "Can I get you something to drink?" why not ask, "What can I get you to drink?" And if you have a friend who's not feeling well, instead of saying, "Are you okay?" why not say, "Are you okay?" When you go down in pitch on endings, you sound confident, and that's the key to getting rich. Because if you're in sales, you know this. When people buy a product or service you're selling, they first are buying you, right? You, the individual person. And what do we want from anybody that we're buying from? We want somebody we can trust, believe, even like that person. And nothing makes you sound better than going down in pitch on endings. That's the key. Now, in theater, you may know this, and maybe you've done this, the first thing to get hired in theater of any kind, whether it's for this kind of live theater or for television, whatever, you have to do what's called slating, S-L-A-T-I-N-G. Slating is simply when you introduce yourself. So you stand on a spot on the stage, or you sit in front of a camera and you introduce yourself. But almost no one knows how to do that well. Now, I've studied radio and television broadcasting. I've put people on Oprah and Good Morning America, Today's Show, and politicians. Believe it or not, even Sarah Palin is one of my students. In the year 2000, I taught a workshop for the city of Wasilla in Alaska, and guess who showed up? Sarah Palin. She was the mayor. She didn't stay the whole day. So I say today about Sarah Palin, I claim no credit for any of her successes, and I accept no responsibility for anything else. All right. Now, when you are slating and meeting anyone, you have to introduce yourself. And now I'd like to show you how to introduce yourself and sound professional. You've heard this done many times on television if you watch 60 Minutes over the years, right? Remember in the old days, I'm Mike Wallace. I'm Morley Safer. Today you're here, I'm Scott Pelley. I'm Laura Logan. Hear that? Every name goes down in pitch at the end. You don't want to go up on those names. Now, so here's how to do it, and I'm going to ask each of you to do it with a person next to you. I'm going to ask you to say your name and introduce yourself using these techniques. When you say your name, put a smile on your face so you warm up your words. Say your name distinctly. Usually there's a pause between your first and your last name. Now, if you have a short name, meaning not many syllables, put it on steps. I'm Mike Smith. I'm Bill Gates. If you watch Channel 7, Jesse Jones, Cairo 7. Hear that? Jesse Jones. Hear what he's doing? If you have a long name, put it into an arc so that you are rounding the name down with a pause in the middle. I'm Elizabeth Montgomery. I'm Jonathan Anderson. Hear that? So try that with the person next to you right now. I want you to say your name, but there's another assignment. I want you, the person who listens, let the person know if they go down in pitch on the last syllable, because that's the key. Try that. Okay. All right. Have you been able to do that? Does anyone here have a really difficult name? Who's got a difficult name to say? What's your full name? Okay, next. That is a challenging name, isn't it? First name is what? With a T on it, Beata? Okay, Beata, you've got a long name. I'd put in, I'm Beata. Slight pause, next. Yohuski Baker. Put it into an arc. Carefully, and it sounds good. Yeah. Who's got a real easy name? Nicola is the first name? Nicolette? Nicolette, last name? Bao. Okay. With a name like Bao, you can hold on to the syllable. Ow, okay? The toughest names to say actually end in 4 letters. P, T, D, or K. If your name ends in one of those, it's difficult. Like if your name is Patricia, Pat, it's over. Right? Kirk, David, you can't hang on to the sound. The other thing is, to make a voice sound even better, you can actually round words. You add fullness to them. 1, 2, 3. This adds richness to your voice. I had a job in Beijing where I've spent a lot of time in China. I worked with the young airline flight attendants, trainees for Air China. And I taught them this to do on airplanes when they do the introduction in English. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Air China, a proud Star Alliance member. This is flight CA1515 to Shanghai. Hear how that sounds? You can add richness to your voice anytime. And when you make an answering machine message or voicemail, make sure you make it in short, rounded phrases where you go down at the end. Got it? So, that's how to say your name. My name is Michael Buschmole, and my final message to you is this. This comes down to the last syllable, to make a lot of money. If you want to get rich, remember to drop your pitch. My name is Michael Buschmole, and I approve this message.